Only 2 sentences, but they'll stay in your head long after this video ends. These are 2-sentence horror stories.
I was having a pleasant dream when the hammering woke me up. At first, it felt like part of the dream.
The hammering kept going, slow and heavy. That's when I noticed how muffled everything sounded. It wasn't hammering at all. It was dirt being shoveled on top of me. I tried to move, but there was no space. I realized I was inside a coffin.
The air felt thinner with every second. My screams never reached the surface.
The shoveling finally stopped. That silence terrified me more than the noise ever did.
I woke up to hear someone knocking on glass. For a moment, I thought I was still dreaming.
I figured it had to be the window. Maybe a branch. Maybe the wind. Then I realized the knocking wasn't coming from the window. It was coming from behind me.
I watched the mirror as the tapping came again. Something on the other side was knocking back.
She kept saying her house, not ours. That's when I felt the chill.
My wife was murdered by an intruder 2 years ago. I watched them carry her body out.
I looked back at the bed. The mattress was still pressed where she sat.
She said the intruder was back. Then she told me not to fall asleep again. I never go to sleep anymore. I just lie there, staring into the dark. Without ever falling asleep, I wake up. Morning hits like a jump cut. There's no drifting, no dreams, just sudden awareness.
I feel more tired than I ever did before. But I never slept.
But it never feels complete. I don't think this one is real either.
The last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing 12:07. That's when she appeared.
Something rushed toward me from the darkness. The air felt heavy and wrong. I reached for my phone, but the screen went dark. I realized I was completely alone. I sat bolt upright, heart racing. It felt like I had escaped a nightmare.
Then I noticed the clock said 12:06. Time had moved backward. That's when I heard my closet door slowly open. Whatever was coming hadn't left yet. There's nothing like the sound of a baby laughing. It's supposed to feel warm and safe. Then I checked the clock. It was 1 in the morning.
I live alone. There shouldn't have been anyone else in the house. The laughter didn't stop. It sounded closer than before.
The laughter was happy, playful. That's what made it worse.
That's when I realized something was copying the sound. And it knew I was listening. I tucked my son into bed like I always do. Everything felt normal. He asked me to check for monsters under his bed. I smiled and played along. I bent down to look under the bed, just to make him laugh. There was a child under the bed. He looked exactly like my son. He was shaking and crying. His eyes were locked on me.
He whispered, "Daddy, there's someone on my bed."
I felt breath on my neck.
I always thought my cat had a staring problem. She watched me constantly. Her eyes never blinked. not even when I moved.
Then I realized her eyes were never on my face. They were always focused just behind me. I stood perfectly still. I didn't want to turn around.
When I finally turned around, there was nothing there. Just empty space.
When I looked back at my cat, her eyes were even wider.
Whatever it was hadn't moved.
Sarah heard her mom call her name from downstairs. It sounded normal. As she reached the stairs, her mom grabbed her arm. She pulled her into the bedroom. Her mom whispered, "I heard it too." Her voice was shaking.
She told Sarah to stay in the room and not to make a sound.
From downstairs, her mom's voice called her name again. This time, it sounded closer.
Lately, the house feels smaller. Like the walls moved closer overnight. When I walk down the hallway, it feels longer than before. The door at the end never seems closer. I noticed a door at the end of the corridor. I don't remember it being there.
I waved at the mirror. My reflection followed a half-second too late.
I tried not to blink. The reflection smiled wider than I did.
Every clock in the house shows a different time. None of them match my phone.
Sometimes I wake up and can't move at all. It feels like something heavy is pressing from every side.
The darkness feels solid, like it has weight. I can almost hear it settling.
Other times I wake up already standing in the hallway. I don't remember getting out of bed. Every time it happens, I'm facing the hallway mirror, just staring at it. My reflection is smiling. I'm not. It keeps smiling even when I close my eyes. I think it's learning to move without me.
I decided to sleep on the couch instead. I thought maybe the bedroom was the problem. The knocking started again. It didn't matter where I was.
This time it didn't sound like it was coming from a wall. It sounded like it was coming from inside my head.
When I opened my eyes again, something felt different. The room wasn't arranged the same way.
The walls looked like they had shifted inward. Just slightly. It's always subtle. Just enough to make me question my memory.
Another photo appeared in my gallery. I know I didn't take it. This time the picture showed me sitting upright. My eyes were open.
When I zoomed in, I noticed something standing behind me. Just a shape. I looked at the clock as it ticked closer to that time. I didn't turn around. I started hearing breathing behind me at night. Slow, steady.
One night I flinched when I heard it. The breathing moved right next to my ear. It only gets closer when I notice it, like it's waiting for permission.
Now I pretend I don't hear it, and it pretends it isn't there.
In the mirror, she stands right behind me, close enough to touch.
She just watches me with that same expression.
Like I made a mistake. Sometimes her lips move in the mirror. I think she's telling me not to fall asleep. She looks at me like she knows what happens when I close my eyes. Like she's already seen it.
No matter how I move, she stays inside the reflection. And she never blinks.
The laughter came back one night. Softer than before. This time I knew exactly where it was coming from. Inside the closet.
I got up and locked the closet door. The laughter stopped instantly. The silence afterward felt heavier than the sound, like something was waiting.
In the morning, everything looked normal. The closet door was closed. The lock was on the outside of the door, like something had locked me out.
I don't remember the last time I truly woke up. Each morning feels borrowed. Sometimes everything fades for a second. Then it starts again.
There are moments where everything feels sharp and real. They never last long. Then something shifts slightly out of place, like the world misaligned by an inch. It feels like I'm being allowed to wake up, just long enough to notice. It's not random. Something decides when I wake. Sometimes I wonder if I died that first night, if everything since then has been something else. I still remember the sound of dirt falling, the weight of it.
Maybe my body stayed buried. And something else walked away.
Or maybe something followed me out. Something that wasn't supposed to.
Whatever followed me doesn't feel human. And I'm not sure I am either.
The air feels frozen, like everything is holding its breath. Then the knocking starts again, slow, careful. It isn't coming from the door. It's coming from right behind me. This time it doesn't feel like I'll wake up from it. This time feels final. The knocking suddenly stops. And then everything goes dark.